Hello, everybody. This is going to be a quick video over attachment style. So again, we've been talking about relationships and what keeps people in relationships, and the type of attachment style people enter into the relationship with can affect whether the relationship is sustained, and certain qualities of the relationship. So let's jump into that. So in general, you have secure attachment styles and insecure attachment styles. So and largely the difference between these attachment styles are the way that um, uh, children have learned relationship partners treat them. So when a infant uh, learns that they can trust their caregiver to reliably respond to their needs, then they tend to react in a certain way to the departure of that parent and to the return of that parent, that caretaker. And so specifically, when they leave, they cry, they're sad, but when they return, they're very happy, they're very positive about the return of the parent. Um, and this kind of attachment style, and in fact, all of these attachment styles can carry into adulthood. And so those with a secure attachment style in adulthood tend to be more trusting of the relationship. They tend to be um, they tend to be they're not necessarily quick to get into a relationship, but they're not reluctant to get into a relationship either. And then once they're in a relationship, they tend to trust their partner and believe that they are trusted by their partner. Secure people with secure attachment styles tend to have more satisfying relationships. If, however, in childhood people learn different things about their relationship with their caregiver, then they can develop insecure relationship attachment styles. So for example, if an infant, um, if a parent doesn't respond to their needs, then the child learns that they can't trust their partner or can't trust their caretaker, and they can, if anything, pretty much count on the partner not showing up, not being there. And so, when you see a infant with a um, uh, who's learned that they can't count on their caretaker, then when the partner leaves, they tend to behave fairly indifferently, and then when they show back up, they tend to act fairly indifferent, as if they could take it one way or the other. Parent gone, parent be there, doesn't matter. And so infants who behave this way are said to have an avoidant attachment style, and they are uh, carried in adulthood. These individuals tend to be fairly reluctant to enter into relationships. Um, oh, couldn't Sorry, guys. So they tend to be reluctant to enter into relationships, and then when they enter into relationships, they're kind of just um, again, there's the kind of implicit assumption that the partner is not going to be there. There's they can't really trust in their partner. But then, so we've talked about what happens if the parent is reliable in meeting the child's needs. They develop a secure attachment. We've talked about what happens if the parent, I guess you could also say reliable, but reliable in not meeting the parent's or the child's needs. They develop an avoidant attention style. But what if the parent is inconsistent? Sometimes they're very attentive, other times they're not. Well, these children of these caretakers tend to develop what's called an anxious or ambivalent attachment style, and it's called that because when the parent leaves, they're sad, all right, but when they return, they show this mixture of positive and indifferent reactions to the parent's return. They're kind of stuck in this state of uncertainty. They don't really know what to expect, and so in adulthood, people with an anxious or ambivalent attachment style, they tend to be very anxious about the affection and interest of their partners. They will enter into relations very quickly, but then remain fairly anxious about the uh, care of their partners for a good part of the relationship. They learned again that they can't these individuals have also learned that they really can't trust their partner. Now, it's said that the attachment style, whether secure, avoidant, or anxious, that's developed in childhood kind of becomes a default attachment style used for the rest of the life, used for the rest of the person's life. Now, they can change, and they can change within the context of a relationship, and then change right back to the default if the relationship dissolves, if it does. But if something doesn't provoke that change, then people tend to stick with their default style. Now, two people who are securely attached, they tend to enter relationships, and they tend to have satisfying. People who are two people who with avoidant attachment styles are very unlikely to enter relationships. And people with anxious attachment styles, they're pretty quick to enter into a relationship with one another, but then they're both going to be anxious, and because of that anxiety, the relationship satisfaction is going to suffer, and they may end up breaking up fairly quickly. And you will get, obviously, mixtures of those attachment styles, and some can be longer lasting than others. So, for example, when those attachment styles match expectations, gender, sometimes it's those expectations are based on gender stereotypes. Then you can still have longer lasting relationships, even though it's not terribly satisfying. Although I guess I'm not certain that it's unsatisfying. But certainly it would be less satisfying than two securely attached. For example, if in America there is a gender stereotype that men are fairly aloof, whereas women tend to be fairly engaged or emotionally involved in the relationship. And so an avoidant attachment style is kind of fits with that male gender stereotype, and an anxious attachment style kind of fits with the female gender stereotype. And so if a man with an avoidant attachment style and a woman with an anxious avoidant attachment style end up in a relationship together, they actually may stay together for quite some time, not necessarily because they're in this terribly satisfying relationship, but because the other's behavior is expected. It's entirely possible that that behavior has been weighed into their cost-benefit expectations about a relationship. And so, a woman who expects a man to be aloof and avoidant, that would have been factored into her cost-benefit analysis. A man who goes into a relationship, expecting a woman to be, very intensely emotionally involved in that relationship, they would, count that into their cost-benefit analysis in that relationship. And so they might still stay together, even though they may not have as satisfying a relationship as two relationships. All right, guys, that's it for this video over attachment styles. As always, send any questions that you got. I will talk to you all